Hi there, my name is Rachel Reinink. I am a church planter for the Harbor Churches, and I am here today to talk about discipleship. In Matthew chapter 28, verse 19, there's this call to make disciples of all nations. And over the years, I have spent a lot of time looking at different ways in which people make disciples. And although there are a lot of different ways, there's different tools, different resources, there's a lot of creativity in what that can actually look like. People are actually really creative. There are things like missional communities, there are huddles, small groups, dinners. There's just lots of different ways in which people can disciple each other. And there is this creativity, but underneath all of these tools, there is a foundation that I think is really important. And that's what I would like to talk about today. So first of all, in order to make disciples, there needs to be predictability, which is the first word on our whiteboard this morning. Predictability matters. People need to know that you're going to show up. People need to know that there is consistency. Because if you're predictable, then of course, people will start to trust you. And once you've built trust between each other, then there's this beautiful thing that happens. People start to become vulnerable with each other. If we look at Jesus' life throughout the Gospels, we see Jesus being vulnerable in a few different ways. We see him vulnerable as an infant and having to depend on his parents and his loved ones to take care of him. We see him as an adult be vulnerable with his closest friends and family as he shares his life with them. And then finally, we see him be vulnerable on the cross, naked and alone. And in that space, he invites us into something more, which is the next word on our whiteboard, which is relationship. If we are vulnerable with each other, relationship automatically starts to grow. And as we build this relationship with each other, there's this invitation and challenge to go deeper. And that's where discipleship actually starts to happen. The word disciple means learner. And oftentimes I've noticed that we think that we need to help people by teaching them to be learners, when in fact, I think the reality is we're all learners and we're all learning together. So, in order to do that, again, be predictable in your patterns. Because when you're predictable, people trust you. And when people trust you, they become vulnerable. And when you and that person become vulnerable together, you build relationship. And after all of those things have happened, you get discipleship. Thank you and have a great day.